So, um, I guess this is just kind of a little rant video. I I was taking a look at some of my older videos from like years ago, like we're talking 2019, 2020, maybe even early 2018, and I realized that my behavior when it came to uploading on my channel was, I think the best way I can describe my behavior when it came to uploading videos was erratic. Was erratic. Because I took a look at when I uploaded um videos of playing Terraria with my, with Zippy and Dave and I think Evie and stuff like that. That playthrough lasted like what, 90 or more parts, and for some reason I decided, you know what the greatest thing I could do right now is to get all caught up, because I didn't realize it would take as long as I thought. I'll just bundle upload each and every one of these videos in the span of a few days. I looked back at that. I saw that in my upload history, and I cringed because I was thinking, dear God, like what must have what must my subscribers have thought of that? Because I'm now thinking, my God, that had to have absolutely flooded their feed to where they couldn't find anything new. And I'm pretty sure this may have been before the update on the YouTube app. I feel like this was before you were able to sort out what channels had what new content. Because does anybody really even pay attention to the little blue circle icon? Some of you guys probably do, others probably don't. But thinking about it now, I'm gonna be honest with all of you guys. Throughout the years of my channel, I had been going through different like experimentations and phases of trying to figure out what style was best for my channel. This video had all these different this video had all these different edits. This one had all these different funny parts and everything added to it. This one was raw footage. This one was simply cut and splice. Like, really, it depends on the game that I'm playing that I decide whether or not I want to add in a bunch of edits. Open-ended games like Minecraft and Terraria and Subnautica, well, mostly Minecraft and Terraria, games like those, anything can happen. There's yes, in a way there is a story, but you're not so stuck on a linear path that you can't afford to put in so many edits that it takes away the impact of the game. Like, you could put whatever edit you want in Minecraft, and it's basically as enjoyable as it, well, I guess more enjoyable than it would have been, but it still is comprehensible. Things like, if I were to play Hollow Knight, I could not afford to like put in so many edits where I cut out like 30 minutes of footage, especially not if I'm not getting stuck somewhere, because, Hollow Knight would be very, very linear. Like, there's progress to be made. And I couldn't afford to put in a bunch of edits because, well, Hollow Knight is a very serious game. It's very dark and broody. And Subnautica, for one, it's debatable, but given that I've already beaten the game once, theoretically I could put in whatever edits I wanted because I'd beaten the story mode already. But just thinking about it, I realized that I'd gone through a lot of different ways of how I handled my channel, and I'm still working on it to this day, because there was a phase where I would try to cut my videos down to like roughly half an hour, and then I would be like, you know what, maybe I should be more free and open-ended, because trying to limit myself to whatever episode lengths I go through, it also can backfire if there's like not a very clear and concise point in a game where I can end an episode. Like if I were playing a Ratchet and Clank game and I wanted to record a 30-minute episode, and by the time I reached the 30-minute mark, I ended the episode and I picked up on the next one. Within the first 2 minutes of the next episode, I reached the end of the level that I was working on in that previous episode. So let's say episode 17 of a Ratchet and Clank game. I'm trying to work through this. I'm trying to go through this planet, and that's like really, really big. And I'm like, okay, we'll stop here, and we will pick this up in the next episode, because I don't know how much farther we have to go. And then episode 18 comes, and within the first 5 minutes, the planet is, all the tasks on the planet are complete. And I'm like, I could have used those last 5 minutes in the previous episode. So I don't know how many of you guys think about this kind of stuff that happens with YouTube channels like mine, where you're thinking, hey, I have to really think about what it is I want to do when it comes to recording content, because editing is one thing, timing the length of episodes is another thing, debating which games I should even put certain edits into is another thing, and there's always that luck of the draw gamble that you may end an episode on one part, thinking, okay, well, this is taking longer than I initially thought, so I'll just carry this on in the next episode. And then you find out in the next episode that, well, you were only maybe 3 or 5 minutes away from the end. It just wasn't visible in the game. Stuff like that, and the way I handled my channel in the past really makes me think about how far I've come. Because it's not about throwing edits into literally every single video I record that helps me improve as a YouTuber. It's learning from my mistakes and deciding what's best for my channel, how I want to handle the content, and how I want to record and edit things, or even play games. I at least have solidified a foundation that open-ended games like, like I said, Minecraft or Terraria even, or even Starbound. Games yes, Starbound does have a very serious story, but it has enough room to really cut out any long and drawn-out segments. And that much I've been able to figure out. I mean, just quick aside, not really related, but I figure I should mention, games like Minecraft and Terraria and Starbound, like games like that, I can absolutely hang out with my other friends in and everything. And it all depends on if I don't currently have anything else going on at the moment. I mean, hell, I was even supposed to go after one of the Ace Attorney episodes, but I got so wrapped up in other things, like taking on Subnautica again and handling the Minecraft Dalek mod latest update, which I have finished up with, by the way. So Subnautica will be next. And yes, Ace Attorney is still very much on the table, but it's like the kind of thing where when I don't want to say it's a really burnout. I want to say it's like I know how big and daunting of a task handling something like an episode of Ace Attorney is, and I want to make sure that it's like near the end of the laid out priority list, because I work my way up through the smaller things up to the larger thing, and then I don't really have as much standing in the way. So that's kind of why you see that I went up to episode 5 of Ace Attorney, and then everything else happened. I mean, we had Breath of the Wild, we had the update to Sonic Frontiers, Slime Rancher, all the other stuff. Now, what was I saying before this? Oh yeah, it was like I was looking at my upload history, and I thought, wow, back in 2019 or 2020, I was internally kind of unprofessional and really immature about how I handled uploading videos, because Around October 1st of 2021, I think it was. So I guess beyond 2019 and 2020, around 2021, I wanted to like get all the episodes of my playthrough of Terraria with Zippy and Dave and Evie, or maybe it was just Zippy and Dave. I wanted to get it all caught up, so I opted to just upload a bunch of the episodes all at once because they were OBS files and it was like a two-dimensional game, so the files were relatively small and easy to upload quickly. And looking back, I'm not proud of it. I'm really not proud of it because God only knows what that did to all the subscription feeds of those who were subscribed to my channel. And I honestly cannot blame them at all for potentially deciding, hey, you know what? I think it's best if, you know, I think it's best if I just either ignore this completely or just, like, step away or just or whatever decision they decided to make. I really cannot fault them for that at all. And, my God, I like I said, my channel had gone through a lot of growth and change and experimentation and trial and error and all the different ways I could like try to shape my channel into something proper. I mean, hell, if it's something that kind of changes back and forth depending on what I'm playing, then I guess that's just the kind of channel it is. But I guess I just wanted to kind of record this little rant because I feel like I've at least gotten better about things than I had in the past. I mean, there were games and series that I meant to go back to or haven't gotten around to yet or just hadn't really given me much incentive to go back. I mean, for Minecraft, it's the Dalek mod, and then later on, it's going to be the Seams series. I believe that's. Let me see what I called that. Okay, I think I had a finalized name. Yeah, I can't really find the finalized name, so whatever. Anyways, so yeah, there was I think it was called the Survivors Extravagant and Adventurous Modded Series or something like that. And quick aside, I was initially going to try to make a teaser trailer or even like an intro for Seams, but I couldn't really figure out how I was going to do it, so I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna let it be, just I'm just not gonna try to make a teaser or an intro because I spent like over a week on this and I didn't really get anywhere. Like it wasn't that it was hard, it was that I couldn't really come up with anything. So there was that. And there's just kind of been a lot for me to think about, really. That's the whole gist here. Like let's see. I have Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Phoenix Wright Ace, I have the whole Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney thing. I have my Minecraft mod series, but that'll probably come later on, like after some of the other games, because I already had to finish up with the Dalek mod. There was diving back into Subnautica, and as I may have mentioned before, I had to take on dealing with mental scarring / mental trauma that it was like from kind of a personal thing, but by confronting the very thing that felt very impacted and wounded, I actually was able to overcome it some, if not completely, and finally and truly be able to enjoy myself in Subnautica. Let's see, what else is there? I'm sure there's more at the moment, but there's like just a lot to work on my priority list. And when it comes to stuff like this, balancing things in a channel is not exactly the easiest thing to do. Because you've got recording Subnautica, and then you've got spending 2.5 hours editing down a Minecraft modded video from like 2 hours and 22 minutes to like an hour and 19 minutes or whatever. Like you have to work on cutting out all of the unimportant stuff. And it's stuff like that that I really wonder how many people truly think about. Because, well, it just feels difficult.